Welcome back to Girls Guide 2. I'm Aphrodite.
I am a ballerina.
And I'm a sailor, honey. Bon voyage!
Happy Halloween! Today we're going to be talking about scary things girls do on first dates. Get it? Scary dates. Scary Halloween.
Scary.
Not all scary things, some good things too.
Yeah. So do we want to start off with maybe like the don'ts?
Don'ts of first dates. Don't talk about your ex. Right?
Yeah. See, I made that mistake. I mean, luckily he stayed around, but I did talk about my ex. But you probably don't want to do that because that's carrying a lot of baggage.
Don't bring up all your insecurities. Like, don't put everything on the table of like, I hate this about myself, I hate this about, like, be positive about who you are, because who wants to date someone that, you know, is so down on themselves all the time?
So if he's like looking at your eyes and you're like, what? I know, I've got this big mole on my eye, what? And he's like, I wasn't even looking at that, girl.
Yeah, and that's good for just self-improvement in general. Like, not even in terms of getting a guy. Like, you attract what you are. So work on being a more positive and a more confident person and bring that to the table on that date.
And kind of remember that you're on a first date, so you don't want to talk about marrying the dude.
No.
And he's just like, girl, I just wanted to have pizza with you. I wasn't really thinking marriage and babies on the first date, so don't do that.
So do we want to hop into the do's?
I like the do's. Yeah, let's do the do's.
Okay.
Do keep some distance. I think a lot of girls have a problem when they say goodnight to the guy. Like, do you give him a hug, like butt out, or do you give him a kiss? I say don't give him a kiss, because my mom always said, why is he gonna buy the cow if the milk's for free? What does that even mean, Mom?
Yeah.
I like to give the milk out for free.
I don't think
See, this is where I have, it's not like a different opinion than most girls, but, and let me explain myself, it's like an altered opinion, I think. I think it's really important to ask questions, and I think that's important all the time. And now it's not because you're going in and you're like, he's who I'm gonna marry, because it was never like, this guy I'm dating is who I'm gonna marry. But in my book, I feel like the point of dating is eventually to find someone to marry.
And to get to know each other.
Yes. So there are certain things on that first date that I'm like, well, let's just be real. I know my priorities, and there are some things, I don't bring this to the table, but if he doesn't, you know, have some of these things, then it's kind of wasting my time. So I just find out who he is. I would ask questions about things that are important to me.
You have compatible goals.
Yes.
I personally go into every first date, I don't even go on first dates, being like, so I like long walks on the beach. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about cooking for me?
Yeah.
Also, I will burn your toast in your water. How do you feel about that?
How do you feel? I think that's so important, though. People are like,
just be honest.
It's just fun, but I think it's good to talk about those things.
And I also don't like doing dishes, so.
Yeah, me neither.
Just be yourself then. Just be yourself and don't be afraid of being yourself, because you're gonna get into a situation where you're pretending to be someone to get someone, and you're just not gonna be happy.
Yeah.
So what do you girls think about the girl making the first move after the first date?
I'm fine with the girl making the first move, but I feel like in general, if someone wants to be with you, they'll be with you, and so kind of let him come to you. Like, don't put so much effort into it that you're the only one making moves, and you feel like you're kind of begging him or being really needy just to hang out with you. If he wants to be with you and he likes you, he's gonna make the same amount of effort.
Yeah. That's so good, because I'm like type A, so I'm always like on it. But
you're like 10 steps ahead.
I'm like 10 steps ahead, but also like I hate games. Like when people, he's like, I'm gonna call you, and then he never calls, and I'm like, what?
You need to wait 3 days or whatever.
Wait 3 days.
Yeah,
Don't text him out at the first text. Like, there should be no games.
Yeah, I think it's like a fine line, because I do think girls make a lot of excuses for guys, like, oh, he was just really sidetracked and he lost my number. And it really is like that movie, He's Just Not That Into You, where if you really are not hearing anything from this guy, or he's not engaging in conversation, it's not even in like a rude way necessarily. It just really does say they're not that into you.
And don't take it personal.
Yeah.
Because he maybe just be emotionally unavailable, and you don't want to be with that anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's really not even that big of a deal. It's like, okay, well, he wasn't the guy. He just really doesn't like me that much. And that's okay. Go find someone you do like that much.
And it may not always work out like a love ship. It could always be like a friendship. That too.
Yeah, don't go in with like such grand hopes that you're kind of ruining what could actually be there.
Yeah.
In hopes of like what you want to be there.
Yeah.
Or that like you're gonna get married on the first, after the first date. You guys have to check out Jimmy Tatro's video. He actually did a sketch where he breaks up with an overly attached girlfriend who thinks they're gonna get married after one date. I'm gonna link it here and you guys check it out, because I don't want you to be this girl. You'll get sketches made about you. So
don't get sketches made about you.
No. Also, Jenn Clark, who you remember from our Quickie on breakups, she actually put an article up on the site. It's about the top 10 mistakes that women make on the first date. So go check that out. The link is below in the description.
Okay, so what are we going to talk about for our live Google Plus Hangout this Saturday?
We're going to be talking about contraception, which I actually wrote an article about. So if you go to our site, GirlsGuideTo.com, you can check it out there.
It's super important, so definitely be here at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are going to take all your questions and input. We want to hear what you guys have to say about it.
Yeah, so don't forget to comment, rate, like, favorite, and subscribe.
All those things.
And we'll see you Saturday.
Bye, guys!